Obviously, though, it's been successful. You're now in five different markets after you jumped into Indy. So you kept looking, kept rerunning the same, call it
Mhm.
processes. Let's get a little tactical here. How so many people think about this, or they look at it and they maybe even go meet with an agent and then, drive around one weekend, but never pull the trigger. What has to happen to put this all in place? Like if you were writing like the 101 here on like how to make this something that's repeatable across multiple markets, what is the high level cliff notes you would share with the listeners?
Yeah, I think the first one would be to not be afraid of getting started. I think there's a lot of people that do the steps and they get like right on the edge and then something talks them out of it. And one thing that I have never really struggled with, I would say, is just getting over that hump. So like, an example, when I was younger, I was super, super shy. And so what I did was I found a job as a server because it forced me to talk to people. When I was in New Zealand on spring break one year, when I was studying abroad in Australia, we went to New Zealand and there was like this canyon swing where you basically, it's kind of like bungee jumping, but you swing at the bottom. And they said you can either run off, you can get pushed off, we can put you in a chair and we can push the chair off. And I was like, let me just run off. And so I've never been afraid to like face my fear. And it's kind of one of those things that like commit and then figure it out. And so one thing that I would, and I know not everybody's wired that way, but one thing that I would remind people is just because you're under contract, that can be a very scary time. But as long as you have an inspection period, use that to your advantage. Like run the numbers, like talk to your insurance agent. There's a lot that you can do even before you order an inspection. So one of the properties that I'm breaking contract with today was a value add opportunity. It's a duplex in Chattanooga that has the opportunity to build out a third unit. Well, I made the assumption that this would take 75 grand. I have two soft bids from contractors, two separate contractors, and they're like, this is going to be like close to 200. So make your assumptions known to yourself, to your spouse, to your partner, like whoever, and then just pressure test those assumptions. And if you can't talk yourself out of it after you pressure test those assumptions, just get into it. And I mean, we can talk about some of the failures that I've had in real estate, but even my failures have made me money. Like we have not lost money on real estate yet. And so it's a very forgiving investment strategy. And I think not only can you grow financially, but I think you grow as a person by putting yourself in this uncomfortable situation and just figuring it out.
That's so good. The last 2 minutes there are so good of just I would rewind that of just real estate is it is so forgiving, especially when you're not doing especially when you're not flipping, when you're doing the
Yeah.
long-term hold, you have so much on your side there.